Hello and welcome to the 9 p.m. news on VOP TV. I am Kayla Abraham.
And I am Sumtu Ajamma. First, the headlines. 423 billion naira misappropriation. Protesters demand El Rufai's prosecution.
Asuu threatens strike over unreviewed salaries.
Court dismisses suit against EFCC chairman Ola Olukoyede.
Court reverses dethronement of Ado Bayero for others.
Lagos APC chieftain dies after Hajj in Saudi Arabia.
In business, federal government seeks 450 billion naira from June 2024 bond auction.
And in sports, England suffers draw against Denmark. Now the news in detail. Today, protesters stormed Kaduna Government House asking Governor Obasani to invite the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and other relevant security agencies to arrest and prosecute its predecessor, Nasir El-Rufai, over an indictment of 423 billion naira. The protesters, in huge numbers under the aegis of Kaduna Citizens Watch for Good Governance, trekked from the popular UTC bus stop along Sokoto Road to the main entrance into Sir Kashim Ibrahim Government House, Kaduna, in the state capital. They carried placards with bold inscriptions. VOP TV reported that an ad hoc committee set up by the Kaduna State House of Assembly to investigate all finances, loans and contracts awarded under the former governor submitted its report to the House yesterday. The committee indicated the former governor, saying most of the loans obtained under El-Rufai's administration between 2015 and 2023 were not used for the purpose for which they were obtained. The committee, led by Henry Zakaria, who is also the Deputy Speaker of the House, and some other indicted members, recommended the prosecution of El-Rufai and some other indicted members of his cabinet by security and anti-corruption agencies for abuse of office and money laundering while in office, as well as plaguing Kaduna State into heavy debt. The leader of the protesters, Comrade Victor Jr., called on the governor to officially forward the findings of the House Committee report to the EFCC and other relevant agencies to commence the process of recovering the 423 billion naira allegedly misappropriated by the immediate governor and others indicted.
The Benin zone of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Asuu, has decried the non-review of members' salaries after the last exercise that took place 15 years ago. Speaking at a press conference in Benin yesterday, the coordinator of Benin Zone of Asuu, Professor Monde Igbafen, said the government at all levels has been reviewing other workers' salaries while leaving the lecturers' salaries the same since the value of naira to a dollar was 120 naira. He said university teachers in Nigeria have been on the same salary regime since 2009, when the value of naira to a dollar was 120 naira, and salaries in other sectors had been reviewed twice or more, adding that what a professor earns in today's Nigeria is about $400 per month, which is a scandalous undervaluation of scholars. He further expressed that to continue to remain under the same salary regime for 15 years without review is not only wicked and inhumane, but also an invitation to resistance, industrial disharmony. Listening to the union's demands, which he said the federal government has refused to meet, Igbafen explained that they have been pushed to the wall and may likely embark on industrial action.
Today, the federal government said it is working on establishing an electricity offences tribunal to combat electricity theft in the country. Providing further explanation about the tribunal, the Managing Director, Nigerian Electricity Management Systems Agency, NESMA, Aliyu Tahir, said the initiative would adequately check electricity theft when implemented and that the National Assembly had been informed. He also declared that it was perfecting the process for the establishment of an electricity offences tribunal with an inbuilt appeal system to speedily tackle power-related offences. It also declared that a total of 2,655,488 meters in the power sector had been tested and calibrated, as most of the equipment had been deployed for use by consumers across the country. On June 2nd, 2024, POP reported that the latest update on metering by the federal government showed that 609,585 electricity consumers were metered in 2023, while the number of unmetered registered power users nationwide stood at over 7 million. The report stated that data from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, indicated that out of the 13,162,572 registered consumers who get supplies from the national grid, 5,842,726 of them have been metered. Tahiri stated that in line with the mandate of the agency, NESMA has tested and calibrated over 2.6 million meters. According to him, NEMSA, which is an agency of the federal government established in 2015, is still testing and calibrating more meters to ensure their functionality, durability, and safety when in use. He explained that the figures were based on data compiled by NEMSA as of the first quarter of 2024, adding that the Electricity Act 2023 had strengthened the enforcement powers and responsibilities of the agency.
A federal high court in Abuja dismissed the suit seeking the removal of Ola Olukoyede as the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Justice Obiora Egwuatu ruled that the applicant, Victor Opatola, lacks the legal standing to file the case. Opatola, an Abuja-based lawyer, had challenged Olukoyede's appointment by President Bola Tinubu, arguing that Olukoyede did not meet the required years of service stipulated by law. However, the court sided with the respondent, who argued that his suit lacked merit. Olukoyede, represented by Olumide Fusika San, emphasized his qualifications, citing his previous role as the EFCC's secretary.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu met with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa today for diplomatic, economic, and bilateral talks following a successful presidential inauguration ceremony. In a statement on X, President Tinubu revealed that their discussions focused on enhancing cooperation and strengthening economic ties between Nigeria and South Africa. He added that they resolved to address their country's challenges through a robust trade and economic strategies. He said they intend to work together to address their country's challenges and expressed hope that they could lead their nations towards increased prosperity and unity.
A federal high court sitting in Kano today reversed the dethronement of Emir Aminu Adobayero and 4 other emirs of Bichi, Rano, Karaye, and Gaya Emirate. In his ruling today, Justice Abdullahi Muhammad Liman disregarded the repeal of Kano Emirate Law 2019 by Kano State Government, ordering all the parties to maintain status quo. The court set aside all steps taken by Kano State Government to repeal the Kano Emirate Council Law 2019, which splits Kano Emirate into 5, namely Kano Bichi, Rano, Karaye, and Gaya Emirate with first-class emirs. Kano's governor Abba Kabir Yusuf had assented to the Kano Emirate Law 2024, which gave room to the deposition of the Emir of Kano, His Highness Alhaji Aminu Adobayero, and 4 other emirs of Bichi, Rano, Karaye, and Gaya. Consequently, Governor Yusuf, acting on the new Kano Emirate Council Law 2024, reappointed and installed the former Emir of Kano, Khalifa Muhammad Sanusi II, as the 16th Emir of Kano, bringing Kano to its old traditional arrangement as one emirate. You do recall that a famous kingmaker in Kano Emirate, Aminu Baba Danangudi, the Sarkin Dawaki Baba, had challenged the repeal of Emirate Council Law 2019 by Kano State Government in courts through his council, Chikasolu Ojukwu San.
In Edo State, the Edo State Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has expelled former Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu, South-South Vice Chairman Dan Obi, and former House of Representatives member Omorige Ogbede Hammer for alleged anti-party activities. The expulsions, announced after a meeting in Benin attended by PDP chairman Tony Aziegbemi, were due to actions such as supporting the opposition and disrespecting party leaders. Aziegbemi emphasized that the expulsions would not affect the PDP's chances in the 21st September governorship elections. However, the decision has caused controversy, particularly regarding Ogbede Hama, local PDP leadership in Oredo, who rejected his expulsion, calling it invalid and reaffirming his membership and leadership within the party. They urged party members to focus on unity ahead of the upcoming elections and warned against divisive actions that could harm the party's prospects.
Still in Edo, a farmer identified as Festus Chukuyem, who was kidnapped by gunmen while working in his farm in the state, has reportedly paid 5.5 million naira to regain freedom from the abductors. VOP TV News gathered that the incident happened on June 10, 2024 at Ugomoson community in Owi 1 local government area of the state. The victim, who spoke to the media, said he was kidnapped while working on his farm. He said the abductors had earlier demanded 10 million naira ransom, but he was eventually released last Wednesday after the payment of about 5.5 million naira, and that the kidnappers told him that he was kidnapped in retaliation for the killing of their cows in January last year in the community. Chukuyem said the Edo State Police Command was aware of the development, as the case was later reported to the police at Oku Division. A member of the community, Frank Okunwaye, who also spoke on the incident, called on the state government to check the insecurity ravaging the community. Okunwaye explained that following the incident, the residents, who are mainly farmers, can no longer access their farms. When the police public relations officer was contacted, he said the command was not aware of the incident. He, however, advised the victim to report to the nearest police station for necessary actions. You're still watching the 9 PM news on VOP TV. More stories coming up. Stay with us.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as they hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. Catch up with the latest topics making the buzz, the stories that tick, the trends. Let's let you in on why they are trending, from politics, entertainment, business, lifestyle, and more. Analyzing the trending stories with top eyeballs. Hashtag on Voice of the People Television, giving you an insight to everything and everyone Nigeria is talking about. Showing on VOP TV, 10 p.m. Monday to Friday. Hashtag if it's trending, we bring it on.
Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. Now in Lagos, some residents of Okwaja in the Etiosa local government area of Lagos State have cried out over an alleged ethnic bias and favoritism in the planned rerouting of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway in the community, urging the government not to spare lawbreakers at their expense. The residents who spoke on the issue expressed serious concerns that some rich property owners from a certain region of the country who had clearly encroached on the Coastal Road Master Plan have induced some top government officials to ensure that the rerouting plan does not affect them. They appealed to President Bola Tinubu to urgently come to their aid, saying that law-abiding property owners with proper titles outside of the coastal road route are now at the mercy of having their properties demolished. They further appealed to the President and the Minister of Works, David Umahi, to ensure a thorough investigation, and those found culpable should be punished, as well as to ensure that the rerouting of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway in the community is in concordance with the 2006 gazetted alignment.
Alhaja Ramota Bankole, one of the leaders of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC in Lagos State, died in Saudi Arabia after performing the Hajj rite. Bankole was said to be among the pilgrims who died as a result of excessive heat recorded in Makkah during the 2024 Hajj. She was from Ekpe part of the state and a former welfare secretary of Lagos APC. Ramota Bankole's death was confirmed today by the council chairman of Ekpe local government, Eredo and Ikosi, Ejirin local council development area. According to them, the death of the Lagos APC chieftain who celebrated her 60th birthday last month was a rude shock. The chairman, Ekpe local government, Sura Animashan, in a statement, noted that Bankole was hale and hearty before leaving the country for pilgrimage. A report by newsmen on Wednesday indicated that at least 550 pilgrims from Islamic countries died due to the extreme heat during the Hajj in Saudi Arabia.
Chief Olushola Oke, an aspirant in the April All Progressives Congress APC governorship primary in Ondo State, has promised to support the party's candidate for the November 16 election. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, despite his grievances, because it is better than to have the People's Democratic Party candidate Agbola Ajayi win the election. Oke, who disclosed this while playing host to Aiyedatiwa today in Akure, said he decided not to challenge the outcome of the primary in court due to his respect for the party. He further said that he would not gain anything if he went to court and won, and the party did not have a candidate, so he preferred for APC to be in power. Oke also noted that Aiyedatiwa is his brother from the same ward in Ilaje local government. Aiyedatiwa of Ondo State emerged as the candidate of the party in the primary, which had 15 other aspirants.
Moving to Rivers State, the Court of Appeal sitting in Port Harcourt has reserved a ruling in the case between Martin Amawule and 24 others against Victor Okojumbo and others. The court today resolved to deliver its ruling on a later date. The three-man panel of Justice Jimmy Olukayode Bada, Justice Hama Barka, and Justice Balkisu Aliyu made this decision during its sitting, monitored virtually today. Amawule and 24 others are challenging the interlocutory injunction of Justice Charles Wali of a state high court in Port Harcourt, which validated the declaration of their seats in the State House of Assembly vacant, pending the determination of the suit before it. Recall that the High Court had also ordered Amawule and others to stop parading themselves as members of the People's Democratic Party and Rivers State House of Assembly until the conclusion of the matter before it. When the court sat on June 14, it urged the parties in the appeal to maintain status quo and advised the appellant to serve all the processes on the defendant.
Still in Rivers, the Rivers State government, through its Commissioner for Information and Communications, Joseph Johnson, has condemned the call by Tony Okocha for a state of emergency to be declared in the state. Okocha is a Rivers Caretaker Committee CTC chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC. He had called for the state of emergency over the breakdown of law and order arising from the local government crisis in Rivers. But Johnson accused Okocha of having the penchant for spreading lies and scaremongering, that what he said was not worth giving any attention. He stated that Okocha was talking to himself, not to anybody, and definitely not to the people of Rivers State.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Agbetukun, has said his men would continue to barricade all local government secretariats in Rivers State amidst the ongoing political tension. Egbetrikun made this known today in Abuja while addressing journalists in the sidelines of a meeting with commissioners of police and other senior officers. He also said the recent controversy surrounding the recruitment of police constables is really appalling, as he highlighted the rigorous standards expected of officers. He disclosed that policemen will not leave the headquarters until a court judgment on the controversy over the tenure of local government council chairman in the state. Egbetrikun said the presence of the police officers was to ensure peace and order, not to intimidate anyone, and that the barricades will be removed as soon as the court makes its pronouncement. The police boss also reiterated the commitment of the Nigeria Police Force on the need for preemptive measures to forestall any escalation of violence. You don't recall that the State Police Command had on Tuesday announced that it had taken over all the council headquarters to forestall further bloodshed and to prevent a breakdown of law and order after a policeman and a member of a local security outfit were killed during a clash between supporters of the governor and his predecessor, the Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike, at Eberi, Omuma, in the Omuma local government area of the state.
And now today, Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court Abuja adjourned an amendment money laundering charge instituted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, against Kogi State Governor's Chief of Staff, Ali Bello, and his co-defendant, Daudu Suleiman, until July 15th. At the sit-in today, EFCC's witness and Access Bank staff, Olom Egoro, was cross-examined by Bello's counsel, Abubakar Aliyu, SAN. During the cross-examination by Aliyu, the witness admitted to the court that there was no lodgement or withdrawal linked to Bello in the exhibit before him. The witness explained that the staff of the compliance unit of the bank are not the ones that run and maintain the servers of the bank, where information on bank transactions is generated from. He added that it was the duty of the bank's ICT department to manage the bank servers. The second defendant's counsel, Olusegun Jolawo, SAN, equally cross-examined the witness. After the defense counsel completed their cross-examination, Justice Omotosho discharged Igoro from the witness box and adjourned the matter until July 15th and 16th for trial continuation. You do recall that at the previous sitting on May 6th, EFCC's counsel, Rotimi Oedeko SAN, had presented Igoro, who works in the compliance unit of Access Bank, as the sixth prosecution witness in the case.
Bandits operating in Kaduna State have killed a 27-year-old man named Abba after he delivered a ransom of 16 million naira and 3 motorcycles for the release of 9 kidnapped victims. The security analyst and counterinsurgency expert Zagazola Makama, in an ex-post today, said the abduction took place on April 16, 2024, when bandits attacked homes in Ungua, Iya, and Jere, kidnapping 9 residents. They reportedly initially demanded a 30 million naira ransom. A resident, Shoaibu Husseini, confirmed the killing, saying the incident occurred last Saturday when Abba, who had been negotiating with the bandits, went to deliver the agreed-upon ransom to the group's leader at a designated location in the area. The brutality of the act was further emphasized when the bandits callously informed the victim's family about his fate. The Kaduna State Police Command is yet to comment on the incident.
The House of Representatives Committee on Public Petition has summoned Ajib Oil Company to appear before it on June 26th over alleged $80 million owed to an indigenous company, Dekun Services Limited. Chairman of the committee, Rep. Michael Etaba, expressed displeasure over the non-payment of the said sum and the non-appearance of Ajib Oil at its investigative hearing in Abuja today. He said that not paying an indigenous company for a job well done and patronizing foreigners for the same job was unfortunate. The committee added that the act was capable of frustrating indigenous contractors, adding that it will not augur well to drive Nigeria out of business while encouraging foreigners. He stated that it was high time Nigerians began to take themselves seriously. Speaking on the issue, a member of the committee, Rep. Matthew Nwogu, said that the non-appearance of Ajib was disrespectful. Speaking, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Kun Services Limited, Professor Nelson Onubogu, in his response, said the invitation was well advertised in the media, alleging that Ajib deliberately shunned the public hearing.
Coming up is business, sports, and entertainment. After this break, please stay with us.
From the views on the street
we go to bed empty hunger
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Welcome back. And now in business, Nigerian billionaire Femi Otedola, chairman of FBN Holdings, has reclaimed his status as the majority shareholder of First Bank by significantly increasing his stake. Otedola now holds a 9.41% stake after acquiring shares worth 18.9 billion naira on the Nigerian exchange on June 20. Specifically, Otedola directly purchased 316,506,776 shares at 21.91 naira each, and an additional 546,674,034 shares through his holding company Calvados Global Services Limited at 21.97 naira each. This strategic acquisition boosts his shareholding by 2.40%, surpassing Oba Otudeko's Barbican Capital Limited, which holds an 8.67% stake. Notably, Otedola's recent purchase accounted for 99% of FBN Holdings' turnover volume of 871.084 million shares on the NGX today, underscoring his substantial influence within the company. This move marks the continuation of Otedola's aggressive investment strategy in the banking sector, as he also holds significant shares in Gerigul Power PLC.
The federal government of Nigeria plans to raise at least 450 billion naira through its latest bond auction for June 2024, according to an announcement by the Debt Management Office, DMO. This auction, set for June 24, 2024, will feature three reopenings: 150 billion naira at 19.30% for 5 years, and 150 billion naira at 18.50% for 7 years, and 150 billion naira at 19.89% for 9 years. Interested investors can subscribe through authorized primary dealer market makers, including major financial institutions such as Access Bank PLC, First Bank of Nigeria Limited, and Stanbic IBTC Bank Limited. The raised funds are intended to support the government's fiscal policies and critical infrastructure projects, thereby boosting economic development and reducing dependence on external borrowing. The auction was rescheduled from June 17th due to the Eid al-Adha public holiday. The government's goal is to attract both local and international investors, thus enhancing financial inflows and supporting key sectors like transportation, healthcare, education, and power.
According to the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS), the price of automotive gas oil diesel has increased by 66.29% year to date, reaching an average of 1,403.96 naira in May 2024. This represents a substantial rise from 844.28 naira in May last year, highlighting the severe inflationary pressures within the market. Despite a slight month-to-month decline from 1,415.06 naira in April this year, the overall trend shows a significant upward movement. The Northeast region reported the highest average diesel price at 1,605.91 naira, while the Southwest recorded the lowest at 1,303.60 naira. At the state level, Adamawa, Sokoto, and Bauchi had the highest prices, whereas Niger, Kano, and Oyo had the lowest. Nigeria's heavy reliance on imported refined products, despite being a top crude oil producer, exacerbates this price increases. The recent commencement of operations at the Dangote refinery is anticipated to help stabilize and potentially lower diesel prices as it reaches full capacity, offering some relief to consumers and industries alike.
Indian steel manufacturer RT Steel is planning to exit the Nigerian market due to economic challenges and high debt levels, joining a growing list of companies leaving the country. Based in Ota, Ogun State, RT Steel has already been put up for sale, with bids ranging from $50 million to $100 million from firms like African Industries and Bharti. The company's departure is driven by factors such as a high rate of indebtedness, challenging economic conditions, currency fluctuations, surging inflation, and high energy costs. This exit will be the sixth by a multinational from Nigeria in the first half of 2024, following companies like Microsoft Nigeria, Total Energies Nigeria, and PZ Cussons Nigeria PLC. Experts warn that the continuous exit of multinationals could harm Nigeria's perception as an investment destination and hinder its $1 trillion GDP target. The company's director, GC Tripathi, indicated that RT is seeking more finance to boost production, but high debt levels and supply chain issues have made operation untenable. The departure of RT Steel underscores the broader struggles faced by manufacturers in Nigeria's increasingly challenging business environment.
In sports, NFF President Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Gusau has expressed his commitment to providing equal support to the beach soccer national team Supers and Eagles once they resume international competitions on par with other Nigerian national teams. The NFF boss made the pledge at the inauguration of the Federation's Futsal and Beach Soccer Subcommittee at the NFF Secretariat, Abuja. The Supers and Eagles have a proud history of achievement, having previously won the Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations titles in 2007 and 2009, as well as securing silver and bronze medals at the same tournament. Additionally, they have represented Africa at the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup, including a notable quarter-final appearance in Ravenna, Italy in 2011, where they narrowly lost to Brazil in overtime.
England's hopes of securing a spot in the Euro 2024 knockout stages remain uncertain after a disappointing 1-1 draw against Denmark, with Morten's Jolmand stunning equalizer, leaving them reliant on other results to advance. Germany's rockets from outside the box leveled before halftime, and Denmark were left to rue missing late chances to secure a famous victory. England remains on top of Group C, 2 points clear of Slovenia, who they face in Cologne on Tuesday, and Denmark. Serbia's late equalizer in a 1-1 draw with Slovenia earlier today also keeps their destiny in their own hands. England sits on top of Group C, but nothing has been decided yet.
And now in entertainment, Nigerian Afrobeat singer Wizkid has praised veteran producer and music executive Don Jazzy for his amazing nature. The commendation follows the recent fallout on social media. You don't recall that Wizkid shaded Don Jazzy after his signee Ladipo seemingly ridiculed him in an ex-post for claiming that hip-hop is dead. After a fan alerted Wizkid to the post, he reacted by saying, and I quote, "LOL, never chatting with anyone signed to an influencer, next," end quote. He also retweeted 2 tweets suggesting that he referred to Maven Records boss Don Jazzy as an influencer. Don Jazzy reacted by unfollowing Wizkid on Instagram.
Grammy-winning Nigerian singer Ayodeji Balogun, aka Wizkid, has agreed to claims that his female colleagues Tems and Aristar were doing better than him in the music industry. VOP TV News reports that Odumodu Black claimed on a recent podcast that Tems and Aristar have done more for the Nigerian music industry than Afrobeat pioneer Fela Anikulapo Kuti and Afrobeat megastars Wizkid and Burna Boy. According to him, being a successful female artist is the hardest job in the world. His claim earned backlash.
The music industry is synonymous with flamboyance and luxury. While many clap and applaud acts in their displays, in music videos, there seems to be uncertainty and disregard for life outside music and after music. VOP TV had an exclusive interview with President of Performing Musicians and Employees Association of Nigeria, Pretty Okafor, and here is what he had to say. The music industry is synonymous with flamboyance and luxury. While many clap and applaud acts in their displays and music videos, there seems to be uncertainty and disregard for life aside music and after music. In an exclusive interview with President of Performing Musicians and Employees Association of Nigeria, P-Man Pretty Okafor, he advised creatives to diversify and invest wisely while active.
What I would advise for that is for musicians, for practitioners to diversify into other things. It shouldn't be music, it shouldn't be entertainment only, other smaller businesses. Because once you can diversify, you actually have more streams of income. So if anything happens to your career, or suddenly, because we need to also realize that I must not be at number 1 forever. I might not be at number 2 or number 10. That there's a time that you need to be there and you won't be there again. I'll take a little bit of example. In the 90s, it was me and Junior. We were there for close to like 20 years when we created the brand of music that transcended Afro hip hop, that transcended to Afrobeats. We were there. But because I managed to diversify into other professions and monitor it, that's why I can still be relevant. I can still be making money. I haven't played a concert for, I don't know, for like 20 years. But I'm surviving. So once we learn that we're making money now, but we need to create other avenues, create other businesses that we can manage once we're not performing, once we're not on the stage, it will be better. And that's also why we created pension plan for musicians, for aged. Once you're a musician and you're retiring from active performance, you're going to be getting 100K. I'm sure by the next review, we will increase it further. But right now, once you're a musician, you're old and you're a member of P-Man and you've gotten to the age of 60, 65, 70 and you want to retire from active performance, you're going to be getting this revenue so that depression won't set in. Because I'll tell you the truth, most of the death you're hearing in the industry and most of the crisis and all that is actually from depression. We're also helping musicians, like what we're doing in Abuja. We're putting a rehab center. We're trying to look after our own. I'm sure by the time we're done with what we're doing in Lagos, we'll also put a rehab center in Lagos, so that there won't be sudden sicknesses, there won't be sudden reasons why we're going to be losing legends or losing musicians.
He also spoke on the role of musicians in promoting unity in the country.
I believe PMAN is a national union. When I use the word national union, we're in 36 state chapters, including Abuja. We're in the 774 local government, which means every tribe, every language, every locality belongs to PMAN. We're the right, and we've been doing it, we're the rightful people to be able to get a peace song, going on a peace concert. Like you mentioned Jos. I remember when we had to do that. And again, continually, we can also do that, get musicians to get together and have a concert. We normally term it a peace concert, where we can now bring all the tribe, have a concert, have a laugh, have a dance, and have a drink and food together. And we start repairing the animosities that are brewing around and everywhere.
Pretty Okafor held sway as a pioneer of the present-day hip-hop industry, with his partner in the group Junior and Pretty in the early 90s.
The Big Brother Niger Season 6 winner, Hazel Oyeze, popularly known as White Money, has said Nigerians will regret not supporting his music career when he eventually becomes accepted internationally. VOP TV News reports that the reality TV star cum singer made this known in a recent interview. According to White Money, Grammy Award-winning singer Burna Boy faced a similar fate, and when he became successful, Nigerians tagged him proud for not being affordable to Nigerian show promoters. The singer vowed Nigerian show promoters would also regret not supporting him once he becomes successful globally.
Israel DMW logistic aid to Davido has labeled the upcoming wedding ceremony of the DMW boss and Chioma Rowland the gathering of billionaires. The traditional wedding ceremony is set to take place in June 25, 2024 in Lagos, Nigeria. The leaked wedding invitation has generated significant excitement, with many congratulating the couple on their upcoming union.
To wrap up the 9 p.m. news, let's take a look at the headlines we read earlier. Protesters demand El Rufai's prosecution.
Asuu threatens strike over unreviewed salaries.
Court dismisses suit against EFCC chairman Ola Olukoyede.
Court reverses dethronement of Ado Bayero for others.
Lagos APC chieftain dies after Hajj in Saudi Arabia.
Federal government seeks 450 billion naira from June 2024 bond auction.
And in sports, England suffers draw against Denmark.
And that is a wrap on the 9 p.m. news on VOP TV. Many thanks for watching. I am Kayla Abraham.
And I'm Sumto Ajama.
Good evening.